Rest your head, 'cause tomorrow will rise. Light the streets with a fire burning in our eyes. If it be your will, would you ride? Oh, that's a wrong.
Evening. Thank you. You don't pick up.
In 1869, our nation was still recovering from the most divisive war in its history, the Civil War. In border states like Delaware, healing that rift between Northerners and Southerners was vitally important, so legislators turned to the arts, erecting places where people could go to enjoy a night out and find common ground through live performance. The Smyrna Opera House was one such structure. From 1870 to 1920, the Opera House was the heartbeat of what happened in Smyrna, politically, socially, and artistically. Frederick Douglass spoke here about the abolitionist movement. William Jennings Bryan campaigned for president here in 1900, and the venue hosted countless local events, like high school graduations and even cotillions. Eventually, live performances gave way to the silver screen, and the Opera House transformed into a movie house until a devastating fire in 1948. As a result, the Smyrna Opera House sat dark for decades. But today, it's been resurrected and is breathing new life back into this Delaware community.
You're welcome.
So when I found out about the Smyrna Opera House, I had never been to Smyrna before. I'd always driven by it on my way to Wilmington or Philadelphia or New York. So when I heard about a growing art scene here, I wanted to come and check it out. And Smyrna at Night is really sort of the quintessential small town party of sorts for a cool historic town to have more than a dozen bands in 3 or 4 different venues where the whole town comes out and sort of celebrates the arts. Vendors are here, food trucks are here, bands are here. It's just a really cool thing to see a small town like this that, you know, has really been struggling for years in the arts community to be growing and to be really getting somewhere. Historically speaking, the presence of the Smyrna Opera House, tell me about its history here in this town.
Well, I'm not sure I can give you dates, but it was built shortly after the Civil War. It is for many years was a performing facility. Then there was a fire in about 1948. The upper levels were gutted, weren't used. At various times, it's been town hall, the fire company, the city jail, the police station. And about a dozen years or so ago, a group of local citizens got together and said, we need to restore this facility. It's a shame for it to be there and not be used. And so they raised a little over $3 million of private funds, donations, and what have you, and set about a full restoration. And the dedication was, I think, just about 10 years, maybe almost 11 years ago now.
The Opera House was reopened for public use in 2003. They had done a massive restoration and rebuild on the original building, and then added quite a large wing that includes modern services like bathrooms and elevators and fire accessible stairs anyway. We came on as the executive director team in February of this year, and have learned to fall in love with this building because it's so rich historically. We've learned to see it as a community gathering place. People come and enjoy themselves. Tonight during Smyrna at Night, I'm seeing whole families in here, and I'm watching dads and moms with their kids, tossing them in the air, tossing them up and teaching them how to enjoy good music, good live entertainment. And that's really exciting to me, to see that appreciation of live entertainment being so well received in a small community.
And so I think there has been a rebirth not only in the Opera House, but there's been a rebirth in the town as well. It's really a renaissance in Smyrna. A lot of very exciting things happening. And I think tonight, if you were to walk around, things are just hopping everywhere. And there are bands at the Painted Stave, at Sheridan's, on Market Street, down near the town hall, and here at the Opera House.
Music puts you in the present moment, live music. And it was when I saw how many people had moved to this area, and I thought, there's no live music around here, or very, very little. And we saw the Opera House, and they weren't doing any programming there. And we thought, why are we not using this beautiful venue to create a better environment, a better place to live for the people of Smyrna and the surrounding areas? Come see live music, be back in the moment. And that's how we got all excited about it. Said, oh, this is the place to go. This is how we bring people together. All kinds, all ages, all demographics. They come out for music because everyone loves live music.
I've been in this sort of community business one way or the other for 35 years or so. And there's that long period of time where everybody went to the suburbs. Nobody cared about downtowns. Nobody cared about old towns. And both young and old. I'm starting to see people begin to say, I don't need an acre of grass to cut every weekend. I don't need a commute that's a half an hour long to get a gallon of milk. Maybe there's something about this being in town bit. Sure. And it's reflected in events like tonight. It's reflected in the Opera House being able to support itself and offer programming that probably wouldn't find in a town of our size. It brings people to town who may not otherwise come. And it's always interesting when we do a show at the Opera House, you ask that question, who's the first time here? And you get a lot of hands. Yeah. And that's really kind of neat because that means that they made a decision to come to Smyrna. And hopefully that decision is, okay, maybe I'll come back. I saw this cute shop, or I hear there's this really great little pub, or whatever. So it's a constant effort to sort of build on that. But it's part of that whole community. I don't know what you call it. Ethic, quality of life, whatever it is. It's part of being in a community.
So here is a problem, can't figure it out. I'm pouring in happiness, but it keeps leaking right back out. I tried adding hope, I thought it would stay, but my heart is cracked and cannot hold a drop of it. So I'm calling to the maker of the stars. I hear he's got experience with hearts like ours. If he filled the earth, the sky, the raging sea, he can fill me.